morning. A little warm up for you if you're present. Please join us in this beautiful song, written by that man at the piano right there.
Enter this house with joy, for it has not learned fear. And with song and with dance, it never will. Please join us. Enter this house with peace, for it has not learned war. And with faith and with love, it never will. Enter this house with light, for it has not learned death. And with strength and with truth, it never will. Enter this house with joy, for it has not learned fear. And with song and with dance, it never will. It never will.
Thank you. Here we go. Good morning. All right. Good morning and welcome to Unity of Walnut Creek. We'd like to welcome our featured singer, Carol Manson. So please rise and join us in singing I'm Choosing Heaven Today.
I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing love today. Well, I choose compassion today. I choose compassion today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I choose compassion today. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today.
Yes, you are. Thank you.
You guys feel like you're in heaven right now? Woo! Absolutely. Is this thing turned on? In a minute it will be, and then I'll be too loud. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Unity of Walnut Creek. My name is Linda Stevens, and it is my joy and my honor to be a part of your service this morning. Thank you so much for being here today. It is a very special day at Unity. Perfect day for you to be here. But I want to thank our musicians. We have Tyler, Lisa, Annie, and our special artist is Carol Manson here from. Yes, and of course our very own David is on the piano. So David, thank you. Thank you for your gifts. Thank you. And you are always above average. I know that. approaching perfection is what I remember. And Dan and Justin. Yes, I can hardly see you guys back there. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Kristen. Thank you. Now, I invite you to turn your cell phones off so that we can enjoy this sacred time together. And as you do that, turn to the camera in the back there, because our folks at home can see you, and they know that you're here, and we know that you're here at home. And thank you for being with us. We know you're not here in the physical, but we feel your presence and your love. Thank you. Unity is a positive place for spiritual living. At Unity, we have a mission statement, and that mission is, in a loving community, we empower spiritual growth by modeling and teaching universal spiritual principles. And every week we affirm our statement of faith together. So I encourage you to go within to that very special place that you in spirit talk to each other. Take a deep breath and affirm with me. There is only one power and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Thank you. Now, as we welcome our newcomers, I'd invite our ushers to come forward, and they have a packet of welcome information for you. So if you're new here or you've been gone for a while and you feel like you're new, would you be willing to raise your hand and let our ushers give you a packet of welcome information? Now, if you didn't get one here in the sanctuary, we also have them in our bookstore, and we encourage you to go back to the bookstore or back to our welcome table. And there's a connection card inside those packets. So if you'd fill that out and take it to our bookstore, we have a welcome gift for you. And we also invite you to stay after service and let us get to meet you if you're that willing. We'd love to see you out on the patio. For everybody else, there's a connection card in the seat pocket in front of you on the clipboard. You can fill that out and let us know you're here today. Also, if you have any questions or comments or concerns, please use that form for that as well. And you can drop those in the offering basket at the end of the service. Now it's time to stand up and greet your neighbors. So until you hear the music starting, say hello.
Love light of the one. I am
Yes, you are.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Zoe, and it is birthday Sunday. If your birthday is in April, please stand so we can celebrate you. Come on now. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you. We have several activities happening here at Unity. We are having a special congressional meeting at 2 o'clock today. Congressional. Congregate. Not congressional. Congregational meeting. A congregational meeting today at 2 o'clock. We are going to update our mission, vision, and core values. This meeting is for all of us to attend, including new people. And we're going to have a video from Rita Marie on this topic. Somewhere. It's coming. It'll be good. Yes? Hmm? I can do it live. Yeah! Okay. Come on up. We didn't know she was going to be here.
You come to enjoy and you just can't. You gotta get up here. We gotta give you a microphone. That's all right.
Well, friends, first of all, I'm so touched to be invited to be a part of this process with you because you're a very special community to me. Last week in the video, you saw that I said you're my favorite Unity church, and you have to keep that quiet because I was minister at Unity of San Jose. But, you know, they're my Unity church, you know, in San Jose where I live. So I meant outside of San Jose. So you can explain that to them if they hear it through the grapevine. Anyway, I am so excited to do this with you because I did it with my congregation. It was a unique application of the connection practice. But for myself, I had had such, kind of dreary sessions of vision, mission, values. It'd been a lot of wordsmithing and intellectual discussion, and differences sometimes created differences between people instead of bringing us together. So that had been my personal experience. I'm not saying that that's everyone's experience, but I wanted to have a different experience for my congregation. And so, did somebody say something? Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I thought maybe you had a question. Anyway, so it was just really fabulous to do it differently, to do it in a way that everybody felt heard in an emotionally safe space, and we reached consensus. Can you imagine with everybody having their input on words? We reached consensus with joy in a process that was fun and that was really an experience of spirit coming through our hearts and not just intellectual wordsmithing. So I am really excited to do this with you. And I'm trusting that you're going to have the same kind of experience that we did. And at Unity of San Jose, we sing our purpose now. Everybody knows it. We own it. We live it. It's real for us. There's not one member of our Unity Center that doesn't know our purpose. And so I'm not going to sing it for you now. You have to come this afternoon to hear that. All right. Look forward to it.
All right, everyone's invited, 2 o'clock. And join us on Thursday, April 18th, for a profound experience of communion with Spirit and one another at our Easter Communion service, 7 o'clock, April 18th. And then on Good Friday, join our prayer chaplains at noon as we pray for our world and cross out what no longer serves us. The Unity Bookstore is having an author reading on April 14th with Alberto Ramon as he shares excerpts from Wise Decisions with the I Ching. He'll reveal an ancient tool that will help you access immediate intuitive answers to your questions. Enjoy a light lunch and receive 25% off all merchandise. And please RSVP in the bookstore so that we can know how much food to prepare. And see your bulletin and our website for more information about these and other activities. And now I'd like to invite Lisa to the platform.
It's a fun way to start a kind of serious topic. I want to personally invite you and highly encourage you to come to the screening of the documentary called The Mask You Live In. And The Mask You Live In is about the ways that we raise our boys and young men that don't really serve society. And we actually have a short clip from the trailer, and this one hopefully will work. Yes? Great.
The three most destructive words that every man receives when he's a boy is when he's told to be a man.
We've constructed an idea of masculinity in the United States that doesn't give young boys a way to feel secure in their masculinity, so we make them go prove it all the time.
Within their peer group culture, each of them is posturing based on how the other boys are posturing, and what they end up missing is what they each really want, which is just that closeness.
The screening is being held in San Leandro, so I know it's a bit of a hike, but I really hope that you'll make that hike. If I'll be out on the patio, I can help you purchase tickets, and/or I can keep a list of people who are wanting to carpool over there.
Lisa, it's not that far. I drive it every Sunday.
Annie drives that way every Sunday, and you'll be going against traffic on a Thursday night. So, hold on, what was I going to say? Yeah, you purchase tickets at Eventbrite and maybe at the door if there's any tickets available. It's being sponsored by Banter, which is Bay Area New Thought Evolving and Rising. It's a consortium of 13 New Thought churches here in the East Bay, of which we are one. And the whole intent is to get the word out about New Thought and our philosophies and our values of supporting the whole person, all people, boys, girls, everyone, in their authenticity. So in my mind, this is the conversation we need to have to help solve the issues around mass shootings, school shootings, violence against women, and just other things that are going on that are instigated by some of the ways that we perpetually treat our boys. So I really hope you'll come. I'll be out on the patio afterwards, and you can't miss me.
All right, lots of wonderful things going on, and now we're ready for a time of going within, and I want to begin that time with inviting David Peterson, one of our prayer chaplains, forward. David, as some of you know, is one of our resident poets here, and so he often writes his own poem to our theme or finds one that fits to our theme. And after his poem, we'll have some music and guided meditation. So we just invite you to prepare for this quiet time.
This is called New Angel. Why can't we be in a new state of consciousness? Spiritual, open and receptive, kind, real. A human that is being every day, every night, gifting to ourselves, and not just on Valentine's and Christmas. True, laughing, compassionate, free, aware. Be a new angel on this planet. Bring forth a new realization. Be of service. Show the way.
Here I am, Lord, use me, guide me, fill me, take me, lead me by your will. Here I am, Lord, ready to follow, to serve you, to love you, to be you in this world. Thy will is done through me this day. Thy will is done through me this day. God, you call, I answer. I'm open, I listen, I hear you, I feel you move in me. God, I come closer, humbled, surrendered, lifted, committed to your plan. Thy will is done through me this day. 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 Here I am, Lord, I come. Here I am. Here I
So we allow the beauty of these words to penetrate our hearts. Like a precious pearl dropping to our consciousness, one true word at a time. Here I am. Present, willing, ready. Here I am. All of me turned over to the very essence of my true self. The I am that I am, Christ consciousness. And right here in our own hearts, where the cosmos. And the pure love of the Christ meet. Here I am. Awake to the truth of who I am. Ready and willing to be of service. And so we enter into our silent time, affirming this truth, opening our beings, giving over to the very best within us and all around us. Here I am in the silence. And having recognized this I am within, we move out into the world. Here I am, available to be used as the perfect channel or the imperfect channel. Willing. Thank you, God.
Thy will is done through me this day. Thy will is done through me this day. Here I am.
Here I am. Please join me.
Lord, I come.
And I come.
Here I am.
Here I am.
Here I am.
Here I am.
Lord, I come.
You want to know me. You want to see my face. I do not age with time. I do not fit into a space. I transcend the capacity of your eye. So who am I? It is the question of the moment. It is the question for all time. I am you, and you are mine. I am the beginning and the end. I am the faith in your believing. I am the color of truth. I am the dreamer of your dreams. I am the falling in your love. I am the words of a prayer. I am the silence in the music. I am the music in the silence. I am your father, yeah, and I am your mother. I am the man who cannot cry. I am the story in your eyes. I am the orphan of war. I am the leper begging on the corner. I am the black slave in chains. I'm the Muslim bride who cannot show her face. I'm the cross you carry again. I am the beginning and the end. I am the faith in your believing. I am the color of truth. I am the dreamer of all your dreams. I am the falling in your love. I am the words of a prayer. I am the silence in the music. I am the music in the silence. I'm all you have forgotten. I am all that you have not been. I'm in you. All of this is within you, child. Let the journey begin. Oh man, I am in you. Oh man. I am the beginning and the end. I am the faith in your believing. I am the color of truth. I am the dreamer of all your dreams. I am the falling in your love. I am the words of a prayer. I am the silence in the music. I am the music. I am the beginning and the end. I am the faith in your believing. I am the color of truth. I am the dreamer of all your dreams. I am the falling in your love. I am the words of a prayer. I am the silence in the music. I am the music in the silence.
Yeah, right? That's what I was just thinking, Brooksy. Church has been had. Yes, right? We're all of it, right? That's it. We're all of it. Last week we went to outer space for the cosmic and the cosmic Christ. And this week, wow, landed, right? Landed in the heart, just like landed on the moon. I read recently that because of the atmosphere, that it's likely that the astronauts who have landed on the moon, that their footprints are still there. And it's kind of the same as in the song that Carol just so beautifully embodied, that everything is there, you know, the imprint of our ancestors, your grandparents and theirs, your aunties and uncles and moms and dads, and the indigenous peoples of the world. There, you know, the very beginnings of humankind and the ancient trees. It's all the I am. It's living and it's breathing and it's living and it's breathing in us. And so today, for those of you who were grasping for some terra firma last week, we're landing. And for those of you who are like, darn, I like being out in the spacious awareness. You know, there's a place for everyone in this cosmic Christ odyssey. So we find our way. Because this resurrecting of the cosmic Christ, the series that we're in, is a marrying of the cosmos and the source from which we came, the everything, the spacious awareness that we can breathe into in any given moment. I mean, that's the beauty of this. It's the allness of who we are. So in any moment we can go, oh, there I am. And breathe a little easier and open up a little more, and we're back out into that cosmos, you know? And then there's that spark in us, that spark of love and connection and service and light and just when we feel so alive and so here and so physical, you know. And that's that Christ energy and that them coming together in expression. That's what's cosmic about this. That's what's amazing about this world and this life and this being, a spiritual being walking in a human body. It's just so good, isn't it? When we remember, when we touch it, and we show up again and we say, here I am. Like the story of Moses, you know, just he's minding his own business. He's taken his father-in-law Jethro's sheep out into the wilderness, and he ends up sort of wandering up or following them up to Mount Horeb. And you know, in the metaphysics we understand of the scriptures, whenever there's a mountain, it's about us going up into higher consciousness. And so there Moses is in a place of higher consciousness. Who knows if he's aware of it? He's just, you know, shepherding his sheep at that moment, or his father-in-law's sheep. And then lo and behold, there's a bush that's burning, you know? And it's not being consumed by the fire, and nothing else is catching fire. So it's not only bizarre that the bush is burning, but it's really burning in its own sort of space. And so he gets a little closer and he hears, Moses, Moses. And he says, here I am. You know, like there you are in the midst of this bizarre phenomenon, and something calls to you, and you're just brave enough and open enough and humble enough to go, here I am. Because we know there's a faith that knows that call is the call of the very essence of who we are and the allness of who we are, the allness beyond the cosmos, the source. And so when it's calling us, it's something important. And so it's so important that God says to Moses, come closer, take off your sandals, you're on holy ground. And you know, so often we're just walking along, right, in the world, or we're driving down the road and we forget, we don't remember that we're driving on holy ground or that we're walking on holy ground. But when we remember, in those moments we remember, aren't we just so open? So here I am. Lord, use me, show me, I'm ready to follow, ready to go wherever, because I know it's good. And that's really the kind of space that it seems like Moses is beginning to get into. But then he goes to the little me space. Then he goes to the small s self, the personality, the ego. He gets a little scared because God starts giving him his marching orders. And it sounds like way too big. Go save my people. Go save your people. Go save the Israelites. Free them from bondage. And Moses is like, who, me? Like, don't you mean someone else? And God said, yeah, you, Moses. Free my people. You can do it, I'll be with you. And Moses is like, oh, no. I'm not eloquent. I'm slow to speak. And God says, I'll be with you. I'll be your, who created the voice, for you? I will be the tongue in your mouth. I will speak for you. I will tell you what to say. Don't worry about it. Then he goes, well, but who will I tell the people that sent me? I mean, come on. Like, the God of your ancestors sent me, and they're going to ask your name. What's your name? And what does God say? I am. Clever God, right? I am. Tell them the I am who I am sent you. So Moses is going to have to stand in front of his people, and they're going to say, who sent you? And he said, I am. And they're going to go, huh? Because Moses is being called to embody the truth of who he is. He's being called to step into his divinity and to lead his people. And he says, oh, pick somebody else. Please choose somebody else. I can't do it. I can't speak. And so finally God's just getting, a little frustrated and says, okay, fine, I'll send your brother Aaron with you. He speaks well. And the two of you will do this together. And that too is really beautiful, because isn't it true when we are feeling like there's something big before us that we're being asked to or urged to or somehow just showing up in our lives and we're needing to face, and it's like we can do it with each other, right? So it's not like we never have to do it alone. There's always spiritual community. I mean, look around the room. You've got a room full of folks you could count on. And you've probably got others in your life you can count on, maybe even other spiritual communities too. So there's always someone you can turn to and say, hey, I need a little support. I need a little buoying up in prayer. I need you to walk beside me or hold my hand or just be here. You don't have to say anything. So there's just so much in that little conversation that happens at the burning bush. And it starts with that beautiful, here I am. And then like, oh no. But then he does it, right? He moves forward and ultimately frees his people. So it's that I am that I am nature. That's where it all sort of converges together, this idea of the spacious cosmos, the galaxies, our galaxy, and far beyond, the stardust that we are made of. It all lands back here on Earth. What's the seeming place of heavier energies is also a place where stardust is condensed, that thing that we are made of. And so when we are feeling a little more constricted or a little tighter, a little tensier or heavier, we can just remember that truth with a breath and expand open into that stardusty essence of who we are, that bright light of the Christ. And that's the part of this resurrection is the awakening, right? The remembering again and again. We forget and we remember, just like Moses did in this conversation. Hey, I'm willing and pretty curious, and then, oh, no, but then okay, So we kind of have this push-pull of whatever it is in our lives that's up. But that here I am is the opening, is the awakening, the willingness to hear the call, to be of service. And so then it gets real. It gets real. Jesus always spoke as the universal Christ. So, we know him to be in Unity somebody who just taught us, who showed us what it looks like to be this universal Christ energy. And so it doesn't stop there, though, and it certainly doesn't in our work in New Thought. It's not like it stops with this idea of this man, now we're going to worship him. No, this man who showed us, and then in our own way, we embody that universal Christ energy. This is what he teaches us. Come inherit the kingdom, prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was naked, and you gave me some clothes to wear. I felt like a stranger, and you welcomed me. I was sick, and you came and cared for me. I was in prison, and you visited me. And the people say, Teacher, when did I do this for you? And he says, surely as you did it for the least of these who are my family, you did it to me. And so it's that I am energy expanding out into the universe and landing on earth and saying, what better way to bring forth the essence of me than to take care of each other, to connect with each other, to serve in sacred service. And what does that look like? It looks like so many things. I mean, the things he named and so much more, right? It looks like a smile or a hug or a welcome or a I love you or I'm sorry or a thank you or I forgive you or please forgive me. You know, it's those kinds of moments or just showing up at the right time in the right place. One time I was driving in Kansas City, and I was on the highway, and this was before I knew, I learned quickly after this, that when it's raining, you're not supposed to have cruise control on. And it was kind of a light rain, but I had the cruise control on, and all of a sudden, my car started hydroplaning. And at first, it sort of, did a little wiggle, and then it went toward the median, and then it backed up, and then I was facing oncoming traffic. And I don't even know what got me from the highway down to the on-ramp, but suddenly my car was turned around, not flipped over, but turned around, and on the on-ramp, facing as if I was going back on the highway. And it just stopped, and it's like the world stopped, and I didn't really know if I was alive, or if my Hazel, the hairy mystic, my dog in the back seat, was alive, which was the first thing I went to make sure she was okay. If the car was okay. I mean, I really didn't know what it was. It all happened so scarily, like really kind of slowed down on the highway and then very fast, So there I am, like stopped. I don't even know if I can move the car yet, but I'm on an on-ramp. So if somebody comes around the corner or something to get on the on-ramp, we're going to have a nice little meeting. And then this guy shows up out of nowhere, and he's knocking on my window. And it was like an angel had come. To have that comfort, to see like, oh, I haven't actually landed on another planet. Okay, I am on the road, I am in my car, and there's another human being. And he just was checking on me. And it grounded me for him to ask the questions and to look and say, oh, yeah, it looks like you blew out one of your tires, but you'll probably be able to get to the next place, and I'm glad you're okay. I mean, he didn't have to say really much of anything. It was that human presence, right? And I have to believe that man was in that state of, here I am. Where should I be and when? Because that's kind of what the here I am does for us. It just opens us up to the Spirit's call, and we just show up where we need to be at the right time and the right place. And man, what a beautiful moment of comfort that brought me. And so it is for all of us if we begin our day with, here I am, opening ourselves and our hearts and ready to be wherever we're called to be. And over again, we let that be our mantra, then we will indeed show up the way that we need to show up, where we need to show up. So sometimes people, when we're talking about service or purpose and kind of what is mine to do, get sort of tied up in that. It becomes sort of a paralyzing question, and it doesn't have to be. It can be very simple. So I want to invite you to do a short visualization with me if you'd like to close your eyes. And just for a moment, take a moment to see yourself at 5 or 6 or 7 years old, and see what you love doing. Just see yourself doing something that you really love doing, the first thing that comes. Just feel that, how it felt to be doing this thing that you loved doing or the place that you loved being. And now let's move to somewhere like teens or early 20s and just see what you really love to do at this time. Just a little snapshot of something you really love doing at that age. Then finally moving yourself to recent times as an adult. What is it that, just see yourself doing something you really love to do? Just brings you joy. And now see if you find some linkage between these three things. Maybe there's a theme or a thread, some essence of a similar kind of idea of these three things. So it's really that simple, you know. If we're seeking, how do I want to show up in the world? How do I want to serve? And the burning bush hasn't showed up to tell you exactly what to do. Follow that, your love. What is it that you love to do? Are you doing that you loved when you were 5 or 6 or a teenager or now? And allow yourself to do that, because when we do what we love, we serve in a beautiful way. That's the I am showing up in its most beautiful, most loving, most expressive way. One of the things I loved to do at that middle stage as a teen or even younger was to play sports. And I remember the difference of how it felt in the ways that I showed up doing that. I specifically remember batting and how it felt when I was trying really hard, you know. So maybe I'd be kind of squinting from the sun, my jaw might be clenched a little bit, and I might be kind of overthinking what's happening in the game. And when I would do that, I would notice that when the ball hit the bat, it was sort of a vibrating kind of, it never felt good in my body, and it generally didn't go very far. Conversely, when I was in that really relaxed space, that really spacious awareness kind of place, and my body was relaxed, and I was enjoying myself, and I was in that kind of space, then everything moved with a kind of grace. You know, and things went far when I would hit the ball and the bat. It didn't even feel like I was doing anything. It was like featherweight, you know, no vibration, just. And that's applicable to anything that we do that we love, and or that we do out of kind of a sense of duty, you know. And we can apply anything that feels like it's a duty for us to do. We can apply the same kind of open, spacious ease and effortlessness to it. And then it becomes more joyful. And vice versa. The thing that we love, we can get, you know, we can tend to get, we love it so much, we want it to go a certain way. We can get a little too controlling around it, you know. And so if we let our claws go and let the truth, the I am, the greater part of us take hold of it, then everything flows with such ease. I mean, any everyday life can be applied to this. When I remember one time as a young adult going to run errands and trying to, you know, smash them in between work and, you know, get here and get there. And I was driving into this little shopping plaza and the store wasn't open yet and there had been lots of traffic and the phone was ringing and I was thinking about, and I just stopped myself and went, like, you don't have to do this right now. Why are you doing this? And it was like the heavens opened, you know? It's like those moments when you just realize like you're up to something that's like really not flowing. And there are many more choices than we realize to choose the way of the flow instead of to push upriver. And so if we can ask ourselves in those moments when we're feeling that, could I do this differently? Could I do this at a different time? Could I let this go right now? And usually we can. And it allows us then to get into that place that the poet Tagore talked about, that is joy. He said, I slept, and I dreamt of joy. And I awoke, and I saw that life was service. And then he said, I acted, and behold, service is joy. And so it is in the doing, but not just doing, it's the Chengzu kind of doing, wei wu wei, the doing without doing that we're after. Because it's the doing without doing that is the given over kind of doing where spirit is doing the doing. You know, it's like it's flowing through us, and it's easy and it's joyful and it's fun. And if it's not, then we can just pause and say, okay, what's going on here? Let me just drop into the cosmos for a moment. Let me drop into that spacious awareness and then see, is this mine to do? Is this mine to do right now? And then you'll be swept into it, or you'll see another direction to go. And that's really the wei wu wei, right? Is sort of floating on that energy and with that energy and moving with the way that Spirit would have us move. At Silent Unity, where I worked for a long time in the telephone prayer ministry, we had a saying at each of the stations where people would receive the phone calls. And it said, it is not I, but the Christ within that does the work. And it was such a good reminder over and over again to give over to that I am essence of us, that Christed nature of us. And so something like that reminds you to shift back to what's really working through you, what's really serving through you, what's flowing through you, what's loving through you. And then it's so much more delightful. You know, the Fillmores are behind all of that and all of this, our co-founders, Charles and Myrtle, and they really got this. They really got the, here I am. Use me and allow me to be of service to you. And not only that, but they wrote a covenant with Spirit early on when they started Unity. They wrote a covenant to say, this is what we're going to do, and guess what, Spirit? This is your side of it. And you might want a covenant of your own. I'd like to share it with you. You've heard it before, but I don't know about you, but I can't hear it enough. It's called their Dedication and Covenant from 1892. We, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, husband and wife, hereby dedicate ourselves, our time, our money, all we have and all we expect to have to the Spirit of truth, and through it to the Society of Silent Unity. It being understood and agreed that said Spirit of truth shall render unto us an equivalent for this dedication in peace of mind, health of body, wisdom, understanding, love, life, an abundant supply of all things necessary to meet every want without making any of these things the object of our existence. In the presence of the conscious mind of Christ Jesus, the 7th day of December, AD 1892, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. Yeah. Nothing stopping us from making a covenant. Here I am. What do you want in return? And don't make any of those things the object of your existence. Remember that clause. Because it's all a giving over, right? It's a giving over, and it's an asking and knowing what we want, and it's a giving that over. Because it's always better than what we could have ever imagined when we turn it over to Spirit, when we turn it over to this essence, this knowing, this deep knowing and wisdom within us. So are you ready to turn it all over, to give over, to start your day and say, here I am, ready? I want to invite Lisa and Carol up to close us out. Today, our affirmation will be a reprise in song of giving over.
Thy will is done through me. Here I am.
Here I am.
Lord, I come.
Lord, I come.
Here I am.
Here I am.
Here I am.
Here I am.
Lord, I come.
Lord, I come.
Here I am.
Here I am.
Here
I
Here I am. Are you here too? Can you say that with me? Here I am. Thank you. Thank you, Kristen. Our prayer chaplains are available after service today, and they're going to be wearing the lavender stoles. If you're a prayer chaplain today, would you please stand up so that folks can see who you are and who that they can go to after service? Praying with one of our prayer chaplains, whether you have a concern on your heart or a joy, is a perfect way to raise your intentions up in consciousness. Thank you. Now let's open our hearts to the practice of giving. I invite you to prepare your gifts and your love offerings as we practice the law of circulation, which is, so as we give, so shall we receive. Because there is no lack, there is no limitation. Abundance is already our true nature. For your convenience, there's a variety of ways to give to our community. For credit card donations, you can use PushPay on your smartphone or take an envelope from the clipboard in the seat back in front of you. Also, we don't forget you guys at home. Not only do we appreciate you giving here, but we appreciate your presence. You can also use PushPay on your smartphone or click the donate button on the Watch Live. Now I invite you to take your tithes and love offering in your hands and affirm with me our blessing. Divine love, one with me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful. Thank you for being here today.
Let's have a little fun right quick. A buzzer took Monkey for a ride in the air. Monkey thought that everything was on the square. Buzzer tried to throw the monkey off of his back, but the monkey turned around and said, "Hey, listen, Jack, straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Ain't no use in diving. What's the use in jiving? Yeah. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Well, the buzzer told the monkey, you're choking me. Release your hold and I will set you free. The monkey looked the buzzard right dead in the eye and said, the story sounds so touching, but it sounds just like a lie. So straighten up and fly right. You know what I'm talking about. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. All right now. Ah. straighten it up now. Know who you are. Authentic truth. Well, the buzzer told the monkey, you're choking me. Release your hold and I will set you free. The monkey looked the buzzard right dead in the eye and said, your story sounds so touching, but it sounds just like a lie. So straighten it up, straighten up, straighten up and fly right. Straighten it up and stay right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Oh, straighten it up, ba-do-dee-day, da-da-no-ba-you, da-dee-da-day, yeah. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Hey, hey. Straighten it up now.
Ooh, it's sacred and it's fun and we're all over the place. And it's all beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God, for all of it, for all of life, and for these gifts that represent the abundant good, the diverse expressions of all that we are, all that we've come to be. Let's bless it together. We give thanks for the ever-increasing, unceasing flow of absolute good in our lives now. So it is. In the light of God, we are marching in the light of God. We are marching in the light of God. We are marching in the light of God. We are marching, marching, we are marching, marching, we are marching in the light of God. We are marching, marching, we are marching, marching, we are marching in the light of God. Welcome. You want to tell us about your Sunday?
Good morning. So we're talking about the 4 sacred elements of life, air and fire, and today we talked about which one?
Water.
Water. Water is life. Yeah, anyone want to share anything about water, why they're grateful for water?
Because it gives us life.
Yes. Anybody else? What about down here? No. What about you guys? Want to share any thoughts about water? No, thank you. What did we do? We played with a rain stick. We talked about things that we love to do in water. What are some things we love to do in water? Swim, take baths, drink water, right? Fish, yeah. Yes. A+. And we're all made of water, so we're connected to all the oceans and all the lakes and rivers, right? We're all one. Does anyone else want to share anything about water? Or today? Nathan? No. Okay. That's it for us.
Wonderful. So I invite you to take your neighbor's hand as we close out with our... Oh, let's bless the children first. Excuse me. Always appreciate having Tyler here, keeping me on track. Together, children, youth, and teachers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divine light within you. Now, if you'd like to take your neighbor's hand, we'll close out with the prayer of protection and the peace song. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, I am divine. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace with
Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
You are the light and the love and the peace on earth right now. So let your light shine and have fun. Hope to see you all at 2 o'clock in the community room.